Have you ever experienced someone vanishing from your life? No calls, no texts, just silence. At first, you convince yourself they're just busy, but as the days pass, that uneasy feeling starts to grow. Did something shift? Did you do something wrong? Or is there something deeper behind their sudden quiet? The truth is, when someone pulls away out of the blue, it's rarely without reason. Psychology shows us that silence can speak volumes if you know how to listen. In this video, I'm going to break down what it really means when someone goes quiet, the hidden reasons behind their distance, and most importantly, how you should respond. Because sometimes, their silence isn't rejection, it's a revelation, and it might show you something you never saw coming. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. And if you find value in this video, give it a thumbs up to help spread this message. I'd love to know your thoughts. If this resonates with you, comment with 1. If it doesn't, type 0. Your feedback is everything. It helps us create content that genuinely connects with you. Now let's dive in. Section 1. The psychology behind silence. When someone suddenly stops calling or texting, your mind scrambles for answers. But here's what most people miss. Silence is never just silence. Psychologically, it's a form of communication. Even if they don't realize it, their silence is speaking volumes. So, why do people pull away without a word? In most cases, it comes down to 3 powerful psychological patterns. 1. Emotional overload. Too much to feel, so they shut down sometimes. Silence isn't a lack of emotion, it's too much of it. When someone feels overwhelmed by closeness, vulnerability, or emotions they didn't expect, the brain may default to self-protection. They retreat, not because they don't care, but because they care more than they know how to handle. This kind of withdrawal can happen after a deep conversation, an intimate moment, or simply realizing how much someone means to them. If they've been hurt before or struggle with emotional openness, silence becomes their shield. 2. The avoidance reflex. If I don't talk about it, it'll go away. Another common reason is avoidance. Some people are deeply uncomfortable with emotional intensity, hard conversations, or owning up to what they truly feel. So instead of dealing with it, they disappear. They go silent, hoping the situation or the feelings will resolve on their own. This often shows up in relationships that are on the verge of becoming serious. When things start to get real, one person might back off, not because they don't care, but because they're not ready to face it. The power play, a silent test. And then there's the silence that's more calculated. Sometimes people pull away to see how you'll react. Will you chase after them? Will you get anxious? Will you wait patiently? Whether it's conscious or not, this kind of silence can be a subtle form of control, a way to test boundaries or gain emotional leverage. Recognizing this dynamic is key, because once you see it for what it is, you won't fall into the trap. But here's the real question. How can you tell what their silence really means? Is it about them, or is it about you? That's what we're diving into next. Section 2. What silence really means. Silence isn't always what it seems. When someone stops calling or texting, it's easy to assume the worst, but the truth is, silence can carry a range of meanings. So how do you decode it? Let's break it down into 3 key possibilities. They're losing interest, they're testing you, or they're dealing with something personal. 1. They're losing interest, but don't want to say it. This is one of the most common and painful reasons for silence. They've started pulling away, but instead of being upfront, they vanish quietly. It's called soft ghosting. They avoid confrontation. They don't want to hurt your feelings. So they create distance and hope you'll get the message on your own. How do you know if this is what's happening? Their replies used to be instant. Now it's hours, maybe even days. Conversations that were once full of energy are now dry, cold, or one-worded. They still like your posts but never actually talk to you anymore. If this sounds familiar, they may be slowly stepping back without having the courage to say it out loud. 2. They're testing you, a psychological check-in. This one's more subtle and more confusing. Sometimes silence isn't a sign of fading interest, but a way to see how much you care. It's a classic psychological test. They might be thinking, will you notice I'm gone? Will you double text me? Will you fight for me? This behavior often comes from insecurity, fear of rejection, or a pattern of emotional games. It's not always intentional, but the impact can still leave you feeling off balance. A key sign: they go quiet, then pop back in like nothing happened. If it feels like they're pressing pause just to watch how you respond, they're likely testing your emotional investment. 3. They're going through something, and it's not about you. And then there's the kind of silence that has nothing to do with you. They might be overwhelmed, stressed, or dealing with something deeply personal they're not ready to share. This kind of withdrawal is often sudden and uncharacteristic. It can come from family issues, work burnout, mental health struggles, or emotional battles they haven't found the words for. If they've usually been consistent and suddenly go quiet, it's possible they're not pushing you away. They're protecting themselves. So, how do you know which one it is? The answer lies in pattern plus context. Was their distance gradual or sudden? Are they distant with you only or with everyone? Do they vanish and return like nothing happened? Or is there visible weight in their silence? Once you begin to read the story behind their silence, you'll know how to respond. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. Section 3. How to respond the right way when someone goes silent. So now that you understand the potential reasons behind someone's silence, the real question becomes, what should you actually do? Do you reach out, wait it out, call them out, or do you just walk away? Your response in this moment is powerful. It can either push them further away, or it can bring you the clarity and confidence you need to move forward. Responding the wrong way can make you feel powerless. Responding the right way, that can reveal everything about where you truly stand with this person. Step 1. Don't chase. Stay grounded. One of the biggest mistakes people make when someone stops calling or texting is going into panic mode. You start firing off multiple messages, analyzing every word of your last conversation, replaying it in your head, wondering what you did wrong. But here's the truth. Desperation is not attractive, and worse, it hands the other person all the control. Instead of drawing them closer, it usually drives them further away. So instead of chasing, anchor yourself. Stay emotionally grounded. If someone truly values you, they won't vanish without explanation forever. Let their actions speak louder than your fears. Step 2. Observe before you react. Before jumping to conclusions or acting on emotion, take a moment to observe the bigger pattern. Has their communication faded slowly over time, or did they vanish overnight? Are they still active online, posting stories, or liking other people's content while ignoring your messages? Do they disappear, then pop back up as if nothing happened? These subtle patterns speak volumes. They help you determine whether their silence is really about you, or more likely, about something going on within them. Step 3. Send a low-pressure check-in, only if it feels right. If you're still left in the dark and you're genuinely unsure why they've gone silent, it's okay to send a single low-pressure message. But it has to come from a place of calm, not anxiety. No guilt-tripping, no essays, no over-explaining, just something simple and respectful like, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a bit. Hope everything's okay." This gives them the opportunity to respond without feeling cornered. If they're just going through a tough time or got busy, they'll likely appreciate the check-in. But if they still choose not to respond, well, that tells you everything you need to know. Step 4. Set a mental deadline and know when to walk away. Here's the reality: if someone truly wants to talk to you, they will. Nobody is too busy to send a quick message, especially in the world of smartphones and instant notifications. If days or even weeks go by with no real effort to reconnect, it's time to stop waiting. Their silence is a message, and sometimes it's telling you that you deserve better. The twist: when silence is actually a blessing. Now here's the plot twist most people don't see coming. Silence isn't always a bad thing. In fact, it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. When someone fades away without explanation, it hurts, but it also gives you truth and clarity. Because people who truly care about you don't just disappear. They don't test you, they don't play games. When someone ghosts you or stops reaching out altogether, it means they were never fully invested to begin with. And while that realization might sting, wouldn't you rather know now than waste more of your energy on someone who was never all in? Silence gives you power, if you let it. When you stop chasing, you stop needing their response to feel okay about yourself. That's when the power shifts. Their silence no longer becomes a source of pain. It becomes a guidepost. A message from the universe that it's time to choose yourself. Sometimes silence isn't testing your patience. It's testing your self-worth. And the moment you realize that your value doesn't depend on someone else's attention is the moment you win. Final thoughts. See silence for what it really is. When someone stops calling, texting, or showing up, it always means something. But it's not your job to decode mixed signals or chase ghosts. If they want you in their life, they'll make it clear. If they don't, that is your clarity. Either way, you win, because now you know exactly where you stand. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had someone suddenly go silent on you? How did you handle it, and what did it teach you? Drop your experience in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss more insights on psychology, love, and relationships. Oh, and if you want to uncover the biggest warning signs that someone is losing interest, don't miss this next video right here. It might just change the way you see relationships forever.